For my e-commerce businesses over the years, I've only ever hired people who are from and living in the Philippines, and there's a very good reason for that. So in today's video, I'm going to explain to you exactly the reason why I only hire people who are from the Philippines and why I think it can increase your business and dramatically scale your business if you do the same. If you're new to the channel, my name is James Eardley. I've generated over 7 figures in sales with my e-commerce business over the last few years, and now I coach people and I create these videos regularly to help you to achieve the same time and location freedom. So the first reason is a cultural reason, and it's a cultural reason that is spread across the Philippines and it's deeply ingrained in the Filipino people. So from my experience, Filipino people are hardworking and have a hard work ethic built into their culture. They know how to work hard, they want to do a great job, and naturally they want to help the people who they're working with. So I'll tell you a story about my hires so far. So my first hire, I hired now 2 years ago, and the same person is still with me, my longest standing virtual assistant. And I looked at the Philippines straight away because I got good recommendations from other sources, other business owners, especially e-commerce business owners who were looking specifically for virtual assistants to help with customer service, bookkeeping, order fulfilling. And so I went onto a job site called onlinejobs.ph and I posted a job for customer service. And what I got back really confirmed that cultural identity that really came across with people from the Philippines. So I'd always go through an interview process with people who made it through the shortlist. So after providing their CV and the reason why they think they'd be a great fit, I then interview normally about 4 people for every role that I hire for. And when I have these interviews with people, it really comes across that people really want to do a great job and they really want to help out. And that's like a cultural thing for Filipino people, to really want to do a great job from the start and be cheerful while they do it as well. And so the person that I hired, who's been with me now for 2 years, he is naturally very cheerful, really embodies that cultural Filipino trait of being cheerful but also hardworking, and that makes such a difference. So as a business owner, what you want to have is people that are happy to be working with you, and they want to be excited for every day, and they want to be able to work on the tasks that you need them to work on. Always with a smile on their face, and makes such a huge difference. And also what really makes a difference as an e-commerce business owner is if they're willing to go above and beyond. So what makes a huge difference for when you're hiring people, especially customer service roles, is whether they're willing to go that extra mile for customers. So for example, if a customer needs to understand when their delivery is going to be arriving, there's the easy option, which is to tell them the expected delivery time. That's always the case. Or there's going the extra mile, which is looking at the exact tracking information for each order as it comes through and really going the extra mile to provide that for the customer and provide the exact date that they'll read on their behalf for them as well. And it's always about going the extra mile, working hard, making a big difference to your customers. And what that does for you as a business owner is it leads to better reviews. And of course, better reviews lead to a better reputation. And it means that you as a business owner have less headaches and more sales. So it all comes down to that cultural identity that a lot of Filipinos have that I've noticed so far. Another big reason for choosing the Philippines is how good at English they are over there. So I believe that it's one of the first languages that is spoken in the Philippines. Tagalog is the main language, and there's also other dialects that are spoken throughout the country, like Bisaya. And apologies if my pronunciation isn't perfect for any Filipinos watching, but I understand that there are different dialects. But what's always spoken or commonly spoken in the Philippines is English, and it's really well spread across the country. And a lot of schools teach English because it gives Filipinos lots of opportunities when they grow up and when they go into roles. The business process outsourcing industry, or BPO industry as they call it in the Philippines, is a really vast industry, and lots of companies in English-speaking countries, such as the US companies like Amazon, large UK companies, outsource their customer service to people in the Philippines. And it's the exact same reason as to why we would, as an e-commerce business owner, consider using and working with people in the Philippines, because English is so widely spoken. The accent itself is nice and clear and easy to understand. There's a slight American twang to the accent, but it makes it very clear to understand, and it's always well spoken. When I do my interview process, I'll always make sure that I'm conversing with people from the Philippines, of course, on those interviews, and going back and forth with them really helps you to find people with really the best English from the people that have interviewed. And you can also ask them for voice recordings as part of your process for hiring as well. But it makes a big difference because it's not a case of having to find the exception. What I've noticed is it's more a rule that people have good English, and the exception is people that haven't got so good English. But always worth checking with doing, obviously, an interview process. Another thing related to the culture and the upbringing in the Philippines is that they're naturally flexible to adapt to other cultures. So they work well with people from the US, that culture. They work with clients from people in the UK, and they can adapt to the different cultures quickly and easily to serve the customers. So I know that because my longest standing virtual assistant used to work for a US-based company and has also worked for Amazon in the past as well, and now is working for my UK company serving UK customers, and very quickly was able to adapt culturally to the differences to the UK and the US, and the different accent, of course, as well. And from that position was able to really help out UK customers understanding the different cultural differences. So it needs to be something that it picks up on quickly, and that's definitely something that I've noticed from Filipino workers. Okay, another big reason why I'd like to hire from the Philippines, and why it's a big reason why many big companies and large and small companies as well hire people from the Philippines, is how great value it is. So of course the cost of living in the Philippines is much, much lower than the cost of living in Western countries like the UK and the US. So what that means is all of those benefits and reasons I mentioned before, so the good English, the hard-working attitude, the cheerfulness, all of that comes at a price that's much lower than what you'd pay if you were to hire somebody from a Western country like the UK or the US. So in my opinion, for customer service roles, you can expect to pay a third of what you pay somebody in the UK or the US to do the same job. And actually, they do a really amazing job because they have often got lots of customer service experience before you work with them. And so you're paying less for people who have got really great experience. And the reason why this is in place is because it's the cost of living difference from that part of the world. And so you're not underpaying people when you hire customer service from a different part of the world, from the Philippines. You're paying in line with the average expected wage for that part of the world. And if you're unsure at all about what you should be paying, you can find really great articles on the onlinejobs.ph website, which really help me to find the right pricing. But it really does make a big difference for a business, especially a small business when you're first getting started, when you want to keep your operating costs as low and as lean as possible to make a big success of your business and therefore go on to hire more and more people. It's a great thing that it's a low cost, and that means you can hire quickly and not have to worry about having 3 times as much money if you were going to hire somebody from the UK or the US. So just to share my own personal experience with people working from the Philippines on my businesses, it's been fantastic. So the longest standing virtual assistant joined me about 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago. And they've worked full time, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, every weekday up till, from the last 2 years. What I've noticed is that they're incredibly hardworking, and this goes across everyone that I've worked with from the Philippines, cheerful and very prompt. I think across that span of 2 years, I can count on one hand the amount of times that he hasn't been able to work, and a few of those, some of those days was down to them having a family and having children. Of course, they time off for that while bringing a new life into the world. So they are very punctual, always on time, always happy to help, very rarely off as well, which is amazing. So you have reliable staff to count on, and it really makes a huge difference. Also, I've had another virtual assistant, my second longest standing, and she's been with me now for over a year. And again, very similar cheerfulness, hardworking, working over the weekends without any complaints, understanding of the tasks, ask questions if you're ever unsure, and really good. So any cultural differences, they are understood after some time. Any English challenges, they can use the right tools online with AI now to help with writing sensitive emails to customers that aren't so happy. So you've got AI tools to help out with that as well. And it all makes such a big difference. But the reliability has been a big factor. Also hiring other people for another e-commerce business. And when there's different tasks involved, like learning about cold email outreach or doing social media posting or writing blogs, they didn't necessarily come into the business knowing that they were going to be doing these tasks. But if you give them time, if you give them the right videos to follow, give them the right processes, and give them the right space to allow them to learn and take some time to get used to these sort of processes. They've also been very adaptable to pick up jobs that they weren't necessarily hired for in the first place. So that's my reasons for hiring from the Philippines. Now, I just want to quickly go into the process that you'd follow to hire somebody from the Philippines if you're considering it. You can follow the same process that I've done, and it works for me. So I use a service called onlinejobs.bh, and you sign up for their paid plan for a month so that you can post the job, receive back lots of people's applications, and then choose and hire. And then you don't need the paid plan beyond that until you're ready to then hire again. That job site is perfect for the type of work that I've been hiring for. So customer service roles, full-time work, and when posting on there, you get a really high number of applicants. And so the way you sift through those applicants is by putting a few Easter eggs into your job description. So, for example, I would ask every candidate to submit a photo of a carabao. So it's the Filipino national animal. It's a cow with horns, essentially. And it means that the applicants who have got the best attention to detail, have really read through the description, will notice that and provide a photo of a carabao alongside all of the other requirements, which include a voice recording, which include a screenshot of their internet connection. It also includes like a grammar test that I'd ask them to do as well, alongside their CV and a cover letter as to why they're a great fit. So really, professional hiring process. And then after that, I'll then shortlist the ones that have provided all of the requirements, as well as provided the photo of the carabao, whatever your Easter egg is. And I'll ask them to do some role play scenarios. So send emails to customers for various different things. Like I want them to tell me how they would email a customer if there's been damage to their delivery or handling a customer return, those sort of things. And then after I've shortlisted the people with the best responses, I'll interview 3 or 4 people for every job that I'm hiring for, and then hire the person that has the best fit, both with the skills and, more importantly, with the character that you're looking for and the right type of personality. And that's the hiring process that I've always followed, and it served me well. Then the next process is how to actually onboard them and how to look after them day to day and week to week. So what I've always found helpful is to have weekly check-in calls with your team of virtual assistants. Now, because you're remote, it's important that you stay in touch. So I have them inside a Slack channel for every business, every e-commerce store that I have. And that way you can be in constant communication. And then we have a weekly call to catch up on the most important things that have happened from the week before. So a very valuable way. What I've really found useful is making sure that you're always very grateful for the work they're doing. It makes a big difference, and they appreciate it when you're grateful. And it's really important that you are grateful because they do an amazing job and they really help out the business for growing. So be very clear. What's really helped as well is always having process videos. So using a service like Loom to record the processes that you're going to outsource to your virtual assistants. That really goes a long way as well to make it a seamless process for them to pick up the slack and pick up the processes that you're handing over to them. So that's that for today's video, an overview of why I hire from the Philippines, the fantastic work they do, but also a bit of a discussion there about how to actually hire from the Philippines and then how to work with them once they are on board in your team. So I hope you've enjoyed the video today. I hope it's inspired you to hire from the Philippines because they've done a fantastic job. But make sure you're hiring with a good process in place to really hire some A-level players when you get them onto your team. If you have enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe to get more videos like this. Like the video to let me know if you want me to create this type of video, and comment. But also, if you are looking for a community of ambitious people hiring from the Philippines, but also growing e-commerce businesses and building a life of freedom, or any type of business for that matter, then I am creating a free community, and you can join that community, speak to other ambitious business owners by clicking the first link in the description. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one.